Alright, it's your boy Angrath here. This is a Mardu control deck that's got lots of pieces of removal, and one of the things I really like about Mardu that I think gives it the potential to be an okay controller mid-range deck in this format is the fact that we have the ability to kill enchantments, we have the ability to kill artifacts, and we have the ability to exile planeswalkers, which just gives this archetype a nice flexible range of answers to solve a lot of different problems that it could potentially have. Looking at this, my one thought to start of things that might make me a little bit weary is that I think not having copies of Discovery or Treasure Map or some kind of cheaper cantrip, probably a mistake. Consecrate Consume is technically a cantrip. But yeah, someone mentioned what Electrum. I think this card's probably too cute. I'm going to play at least one match here without it, but like a deck that's trying to hit 4, 5, and 6 lands consistently, especially with some kind of strict mana cost requirements, I think we should probably have some number of discoveries in this deck to smooth out our draws a little bit. So let's dive in here. Usually I like to play at least one match with it. So wouldn't be too surprised if we stumble and bumble a little bit here. Your chances of hitting 4 lands consistently on time with only 25 lands and no cantrips is kind of low. That's true too. Consecrate is often not a cantrip in the early game. Okay. Perfect. I think this card is more cute than anything. The biggest thing that makes this card too cute is like when you look at where Electro Dominance is on the curve, when you're looking at your deck in front of you, it's deceiving, right? Because like it defaults to the 2 slot, but you're not playing this card on 2, right? Like imagine if this was Discovery here. It'd probably be pretty good for smoothing things out. Yeah, the delayed triggers were super awkward. So actually, the last time we played this deck, my conclusion at the end was that I was really impressed with Jaya, and she provided a really powerful amount of card selection in the mid to late game, and she solved our wrong half problem a good bit, which was something I was happy with. So Theater's gonna bank us some cards for later here. I need to Vraska's Contempt now because on their turn it's gonna cost 1 more. Let's go ahead and get that out of here. Oh no! My poor Theater. Looks like it's gonna be a Cry of the Canarium matchup for sure. Ooh, that's a good one. Yoink, yoinking afterlife creatures is so good. Yeah, Consume does target. Yeah, Cry is bugged on Arena partially. It doesn't exile cards that went to the graveyard earlier that turn like it's supposed to. Yoink. So they can kill Angrath, but it's going to involve trading their 2-1 for my 1-1, so I think that's fine. Next turn I'm going to consume Lyra here. Gobble gobble. Theater's still pretty good. I like Theater a lot. Yeah, Consecrate Consume is really good. I think that card's quite fantastic. And plus her for mana and Lightning Strike this Seraph. I'm actually going to hold on to this Godless Shrine, so that way I can have an extra card to discard to her plus next turn. I mean, for Banefires, I definitely think we're bad against control decks game 1, Sunshine, but four Banefires is going to go a long way post-board. For sure. And, like, not everything lines up well into everything else game 1. That's just, like, impossible. You pick and choose where you want to be good and where you want to be bad, basically. Yeah, Abzan Angels definitely seems pretty interesting. Yikes! Alrighty. I do need to update the stream decker. You're super right. Thank you for the heads up. Oh no! Night Autumn's pretty brutal when we're trying to lean into Theater of Horrors for our source of card advantage. Yeah, Find kind of just ground us into the dirt there. Need one more trim here. I'm gonna trim a Wrath since I'm bringing in 3 Cries. Guess I keep. I'm gonna mulligan. Like, 5 lands and not having good colors is just, like, not a good spot to be. Alright. We can dodge a Night of Autumn, we can dodge a ball. Have a pretty good shot here. It is gonna be Bant Day later today. Got a lot of sweet Bant decks lined up. I see people talking about Deafening Clarion in chat. I think there's enough Afterlife creatures in this format that if you can cast both Deafening Clarion and Cry, you'd probably rather be casting Cry in this format, honestly. There's a lot of sweet Bant configuration in this format for sure. Yeah, we're gonna start with the Bant Flash deck from the open. Play a couple matches with that at least before we try builds of my preference. Yeah, like, Clarion's definitely better against Golgari, but, like, Kaya's Wrath is better than both of them against Golgari, right? I'm already on 4 of those, so, like, do I need another sweeper? If anything, I really think, like, talking about adding more sweepers to this deck is a pretty textbook example of, like, solving problems we don't have. Like, this deck's issue almost certainly isn't it doesn't have enough weighted creatures. If anything, this deck needs ways to smooth itself out, a la Treasure Map or Discovery, or ways to actually finish the game. Yeah, Regenerate pretty much doesn't exist anymore because it's confusing and awkward. With KCI gone, can elves drop Surgical and Revoker and add 4 ley lines? I mean, you can do whatever you want, but I personally hate playing ley line. I think ley lines. I hate playing ley lines in decks that don't have Faithless Lootings. I don't think your graveyard matchups are that bad with elves either. I think you could probably trim Revoker if you really wanted to, but I'd keep the Surgicals in general. Kind of a fan of those. All right, we hit a land under there, so I'm gonna go ahead and just shoot them with this and then play the land out. Oh, you know what? I could have lightning striked their dome and then shocked in the land and played the other theater. That's probably a better line. I think I just go ahead and do this and play Karn. Yeah, I agree. Not destroying the theater is pretty bold. Guess they think they could just play through it, which might be the case. The theater doesn't seem to be giving us anything too powerful at the moment. Alright, Kaya's Wrath looking good. I guess Kaya's Wrath isn't that good because this is going to leave a token behind and then this ultimate kills me. Do you remember when you played it? Sometime in the last week, Admiral. It's probably on my website if you go to Videos Modern. Yeah, Angry. It's titled Angry Birds. The title's not very descriptive. If you go to Videos Modern on my page, it's the second video. Yeah, I guess I have to cry plus Wrath, right? Oh, I could cry and use the theater to ping the Planeswalker. That's a good idea. I like that suggestion. Oh, I can't. Because of Shalai. Awkward. Okay, them doing that is good for me. It means I'm not dead to this Vraska. It means they're not putting me to 1. Alright, so if I down-tick Karn, I can get Shock, and then Shock lets me shock them, which unlocks my theater cards, which means I can play Blood Crypt, and then play Jaya Ballard, and then I can plus Jaya Ballard for mana, and Lightning Strike Vraska. So like, we're not in a good spot here, but we're treading water. We're like, you know, like where, got any more of them Kai's Wraths? We're not dead. We don't have like a victory map just yet, but like, we've got a, whoa, did they just leave my Planeswalkers alone? They just left my Planeswalkers alone. Well, that's sweet for us. Means I get to draw like 40 cards towards hitting something relevant here. Let's hope for something good. Ain't that the truth? Woof. Alright, so what are we doing here? So if I Vraska's Contempt, what's under this card? Nothing useful. What does Karn have? Got Karn plus Theater is not great. Alright, well let's start by plussing here and see if he finds 2 spells.
Are you certain of your decision?
Alright, did not find 2 spells. Weird. If I Contempt here and Mortify this, I'm still very dead on board. So yeah, pretty dead. And like that, I feel like that match kind of showed one of the tough things about trying to play a control deck like this, which is that the mid-range decks in this format have so many good tools for keeping up with these control decks that they're able to kind of grind us down, right? I don't know, I didn't feel like I missed Discovery that game. Like, that game wasn't lost because we needed cantrips. That game was lost because we kind of just got outground on value, right? Is what happened. Which kind of makes me think I want Treasure Map more than I want Discovery, right? Like, Discovery's better for fast early card selection, but Treasure Map helps us grind, right? Alright, hit land number 3, that's a good start. Will I drop theaters for map? Potentially, maybe some of them. Theater was definitely a little bit clunky there, right? And there's a lot of enchantment hate in this format right now. Yeah, I agree. I think if this deck wants to play theater, it needs some type of creature or way to easily trigger it. And this deck doesn't really have that, right? Another option to take it in is if this deck wants to play theater, is perhaps it should play like 4 copies of like Rekindling Phoenix, because Rekindling Phoenix is a card that can apply pressure to trigger our theater, but at the same time it can also be a defensive creature that recurs itself, right? But kind of does double duty. Ill-Gotten. That's a really terrible card, right? The beginning of your upkeep, it deals 1 damage. To an opponent, you gain 1 life. Sacrifice it, it deals 4 damage. That seems real bad. That's super. And like, again, like, there's so much good enchantment removal in this format that I can't imagine that, like, playing a card like that is the answer to what I want to be doing. And like, another thing to think about here too is, because this deck's sitting here trying to trigger Theater, it means it's playing things like Shock and Lightning Strike instead of Lava Coil. And like, Lava Coil is like really good in this format, right? Not only is killing things with 4 toughness important, but being able to exile things like opposing or Kindling Phoenixes is a big deal. This card's very good in aggro and probably fine in a lot of mid-range situations, but yeah, here it just feels pretty bad. Foil animation? No, I think foil animation would be kind of silly. I'm gonna rebuild this a little bit and try and pull away from this theater plan and try and rebuild a little bit in a different direction. So this was submitted as Mardu control. So when someone submits a deck and I make changes to what I'm doing, I try to keep their core archetype the same while trying to make it better for that. Yeah, everything I play on stream gets posted on my website. Under the video section, everything we do gets done, and I break it all up by deck so you can watch just the decks that you're interested in seeing. I'm gonna cut these shocks, these lightning strikes, these electro dominances, and these theater fours. I think that package is just like not great for a control deck. Let's get a bunch of lava coils in here. Let's get a bunch of treasure maps. Treasure map also helps us make our different colors of mana. What are some other sources of card advantage that these colors can play? It might just be that Discovery is good. Yeah, Discovery's probably just good. Just for smoothing. Yeah, Jaya might just be too cute. What are our planeswalkers? Are there any other planeswalkers in these colors? We have Ajani. We have Crappy Liliana. Sarkhan. Sarkhan might be good as just rummaging. Yeah, like we don't have Tefreeze or Ral. Yeah, a couple of Banefires in the main deck actually is probably a good idea. It like gives us a way where we can like have some interaction against bigger things, but also like cheese out some wins against control doesn't seem unreasonable. I like that idea. Something closer to this. I don't really like the idea of Captain Audience. I think that card's kind of slow and clunky. And again, there's so much enchantment removal in the format that I really don't want to lean into that. This card's fine. This card, like, takes your opponent's win condition and gives it to you, right? Yeah, I like Eldest Reborn. Let's do that. Added treasure map, discovery. Just put a couple Lyra in the sideboard for the aggro matchup. Yeah, Eldest Reborn is real good. Let's try this. I think just like trying to play theater as the win condition, as the card advantage engine, is both susceptible to all the enchantment hate that people are playing, just that happens to slot into main decks, as well as the fact that like we don't have a good way to enable it consistently. Yikes. Alright. This 5's real good. In. Is Esper midrange good against Sultai? I don't know. On paper, I would estimate that it's probably not, but I haven't played the matchup to know that for certain. I would estimate that Esper midrange is bad against Sultai based on looking at the matchup on paper, because the average card quality in Esper versus the average card quality in Sultai is lower, and Sultai is really good at gumming up the board. Your best chance as Esper to beat up on Sultai is probably a quick Thief of Sanity, but Yikes! Alrighty. Well. Woof. It's gonna be an uphill fight, chat. Thief is good for sure, Brad. And like I said, I don't think like this is standard. This isn't modern. So like when we say something's a bad matchup in standard, it's not 0%, but I would expect Sultai to come out ahead in that matchup. I'm keeping Kaya's Wrath on top because I assume my first one's gonna get counterspelled. We just did almost a complete rebuild of what the bottom end of this deck is doing, so we made a lot of changes here. Alright, no Spell Pierce, please. No Spell Pierce, please. No Spell Pierce, please. Yay! So you're saying there's a chance, chat. That's all I need. All I need is a chance. Take a chance on me. Do-do-do-do-do. Be-do-do-do-do-do-do. Do-do-do-do-do. Wonder if this is gonna get dived down. They gotta have something, right? Wizard's Retort. Oh. Alright. I wonder if they had Retort and didn't realize they didn't have a wizard. Constructs, baby constructs, baby constructs, baby constructs. Ooh doo 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 doo. That felt good. That felt good. I think you cast Kaya's Wrath pretty consistently, especially with map to help smooth things out. Treasure map is just so excellent. Very, very good. Yeah, I was really getting into the song that was playing in the background, opponent. Why'd you have to go and concede like that? I was just getting ready to jam to the tunes. We mulled the 5 that game too. That's good to point out. We mulled the 5 and then like Kaya's Wrath just like kept us in the game. That's not a distorted sound, that's just how the audio sounds, for reference. I guess Consume gets around Dive Down. That might be better than Banefire, actually. Like trim a Discovery. Yeah, I'm gonna trim a Karn, actually. He's a little slow. How do you feel about this? This looks good. I'm bringing in Lyra as extra finishers. Is Duress good? Yeah, I could see Duress being okay. I could see Duress being fine. Maybe I just, like, trim some of this. Some of the bottom end selection. Please keep in mind that the same rules apply to critiquing my opponent's play that apply to my play. So if you'd like to say my opponent made a mistake, if you don't say why they made a mistake or how they could have done better based on the information that you have, you're going to get a 10-minute break. A lot of times people come back and rewatch their matches after seeing that they've played me on my stream on the YouTube channel. So I would like that you would be respectful to people. You should be respectful to people even if they're not going to hear or see the things that you say. But, you know, if you need to have that little extra push, they're probably going to come back and see the things that you did. So be respectful. I wonder if Discovery is better than Treasure Map. So we're gonna, with Bant Flash Day, we're gonna start card for card with the list from the open and probably tune from there. There were some cards in the list from the open that kind of make me go, huh? But I want to play card for card the list that made the finals just to like see how it feels. Perfect. Never didn't have it. Doom Blades, baby, Doom Blades, baby, baby, Doom Blades. Do 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 do. Map does make Karn better, but I also boarded down on Karn too. So like, you know, wow, that's really good for me. I'm just gonna remember, just because your card's an instant doesn't mean you have to play it on their turn. While they're tapped out, get them. Get him. Let's do the spell pierce again. Rats. All right, dead to a land. Dead to a land. Yikes. Womp womp. That makes sense why they tapped out aggressively. Pretty much have to make them have it there. We're just getting beat up no matter what we do if they have the spell pierce, so playing the highest reward one makes a lot of sense, I think. I've been having a blast watching you play Arena. I haven't had this much fun with Magic in 20 years. Well, Wilt, thank you very much for the generous biddies. I appreciate that. You should open the deck queue on my website and drop me a message and let me know if there's a deck in there you'd like to see a little bit sooner. Anybody who cheers 100 bits or more, donates $1 or more, can always bump something in my queue because the people who support my content kind of get to pick what we play and when we play it. So thank you for that. I appreciate it. Woundings, thank you very much for the brand new Prime support. And there's a lot of people you can give your Bezo bucks to every month, so thanks for choosing to spend them here. I kind of feel like I want these discoveries on the play, so I'm like less likely to brick and die. Let's do that. Will you be climbing to Mythic once Ranked has best of 3? I don't know. I'll probably be playing Ranked. I don't know if we're going to get to Mythic. I don't really care about getting to Mythic. I don't know, Striker. I actually tend to really like playing against Mono Blue as a control player. I have a very, like, as a control player, I have a very clear, concise path of, like, what I need to be doing to have success in this matchup. And there's definitely play on both sides, which makes it interesting, in my opinion. Sounds good, Drock. There is a Mardu land destruction build in the queue. I don't know if it's good, but we're going to give it a try. While it's definitely okay to say you prefer best of 3, the one and only Kim, don't spread the nonsense here that best of 1 isn't real Magic. Best of 1 is, in fact, real Magic. In fact, you could argue that best of 1 is more real Magic than best of 3 because most Magic people play is best of 1. Casual Magic is far more popular than competitive Magic ever has or ever will be. I'll just like me personally. I personally prefer best of 3 Magic by a mile, but like to say best of 1 isn't Magic is just silly and wrong. Well, thanks for dropping in, Drew. Hope you're having a good Tuesday. I'm just gonna go ahead and jam a Bedevil here. These things are gonna like slowly pick away at us if we don't take them off the table, so let's try and take one off the table. I mean, there's people who play Magic and they play everybody gets a free mulligan. That's different than the Magic that you play, but it doesn't make it not Magic. It's just different than the way you play. The thing that makes Magic such a great game is the fact that Magic isn't one game. It's lots of different games that allow people to play in a way that they enjoy. So just because the rule system that best of one does is... Are you guys having an audio issue? The game sounds fine in my headset. Sounds good. Got it. So that's actually a good question. Hey, Potato David, thank you very much for the generous biddies. I appreciate that. Shadows with 1,000 bits as well. Thank you, folks. Thanks for keeping me around. It's worth commenting here on the Angrath sequencing. So I didn't play the Angrath last turn, and the reason for this is when I have Treasure Cove, every treasure is worth a card draw. So you're right, I could have played Angrath last turn and he potentially got him Spell Pierce too, but by waiting, I give myself the ability to draw extra cards with those treasures, which my opponent doesn't have that much pressure in play, so like waiting and getting extra cards with these treasures makes a lot of sense. I have a counterspell. Maybe I'm supposed to draw first here in case I hit a second duress. That's probably what I'm supposed to do. Yep, yeah, you buy bits and share them in chat, Peoria, or you send a donation using the Streamlabs link below the stream. Just make sure you put in the donation comment or the cheer message which deck you'd like to bump up. Helps me keep track of things. Yikes. And John Avon better watch out, because I'm practicing drawing lands over here. We're coming for him. If they don't have another counterspell here, Kaya's Wrath could pull us right back into this game. Do I still play Paper Magic? On occasion. I'm planning to play, so the Nerd Rage Gaming Championship Series is one of the sponsors for the stream, and part of my sponsorship deal is that I get free entry to their events, and so I'm planning to make it out to a couple of their Midwest events when they happen. They have a standard tournament coming up in March, and I might play their modern tournament next month, though I'm not 100% yet. Kaya's Wrath. Womp womp. Hey, Potato David, thank you again for the biddies. Did I already buy new cards from Legion? So I don't actually own Paper Magic decks. I pretty much, when I play Paper Magic, I reach out to different people in the community, and usually I can find stuff to borrow. Shuffler confirmed broken. Clumps are random, chat. Clumps are random. No, Nerd Rage is primarily a Midwest-focused tournament series, so they go to Chicago, Bloomington, where I live, Wisconsin, Iowa, and Indiana. What am I eyeing to play in Modern? I really like Green-Black Elves still. That's like my fallback go-to for like an aggressive deck that I really like. However, we played Electro Dominance Living End recently, and it felt pretty powerful, so we're gonna work on that some more, I think. Alright. Turn 4 Wrath might be too slow against a good mono red start. You can find the Electro Dominance Living End deck that we played the first time up on my website, my YouTube channel. I think NRG events will ever do St. Louis? Possibly. That's technically in the Midwest. They come to Bloomington, which is only 2 hours from St. Louis Sharps. So if you ever want to come up and see my neck of the woods, they're actually going to be here in March. Bits for Girl Monsters. Thank you, Peoria. I appreciate it. Yeah, I played Mono Blue Living End a little bit, and I was never very impressed with it, but the Electro Dominance build felt really strong. Please stop stopping my stops. Yeah, I think so. I think a Jund Elves build could be sweet. The March tournament's gonna be standard, Danon. Yikes. You enjoy the 4-color Gates deck you played on stream? I watched the FOD. Would you say yes? Definitely alcohol. The deck seemed really sweet. Sorry I missed it the first time. Or the second time, or the third time. No, I don't think you really need to play Wheel of Fate Admiral. I don't think it fixes any problems that you have. I think I just draw here as opposed to scrying first, because a lot of my removal costs 3 mana. So if I draw a 3 mana removal spell, I want to be able to cast it. And then we drew a land. Probably dead here. It's a Flame of Keld. I guess Flame of Keld's a pretty bad hit for them here. So I'm taking 6 this turn at a minimum. And then I get to like untap and Kaya's Wrath, but then I'm probably dead because they have 4 cards in their hand. We have Cry of the Canaria Mendo Crisis, and I think Cry is just better than Deafening Clarion in a lot of the matchups where you want that type of effect. Cry gets rid of Adanto Vanguard against White Weenie, and it exiles things like Judith. So I think if I can cast both Deafening Clarion and Cry, I'd just rather have Cry. It is kind of Bant deck today. Yeah, if you click Videos Modern, everything goes on the website, not under the Videos tab. Am I dead yet? Skewer the critics. In honor of Mono Red's favorite number. Alright, I got a couple of Liras. I got some Cry of the Canariums. I got a bunch of Fountain of Renewals. Let's do it. Is it crazy to cut the Kaya's Wrath just because they're too slow? I feel like it's not. I feel like it's not. Let's give this a try. I'm bringing in 3 Cries as sweepers, so I think cutting Kaya's is fine. Is Consume better than Wrath? I think it is. Like, even just like, it's like Vraska's Contempt isn't a good card in this matchup, but I think it's a playable card for sure. The problem with the rest is that the opponent's hand tends to get empty pretty quickly. Alright. I would like 1 land drop next turn, please. I don't think so, Zach, because I'm not going to Lava Coil anything on 2, because I'm going to try and Cry on 3. Hang tight for the time being. I don't think it's worth shocking to kill the Firebrand this turn, even though the Firebrand is enabling Spectacle for them, which is not negligible. Like, the Fountain of Renewal is, like, checking the Firebrand, but the fact that it's enabling Spectacle is, like, relevant here. They have, like, light up the stages and stuff like that. Alright, I'm gonna go ahead and Lava Coil this. You have any good article recommendations for drafting? I don't, unfortunately. I don't really play a lot of Limited, so I'm not sure. I'm told that Ben Stark is kind of the de facto master for watching Limited, so if you're into streams, which you're here, so you probably are, I'd definitely check him out. I'm told if you're into podcast Limited resources with LSV and Marshall Sutcliffe, is kind of the go-to for that, but I don't have any good article recommendations offhand. I think LSV does Limited article, like power rankings or something like that. Wow. Wow. Can we pour one out for my boy Mortify here? Can we just pour one out for Mortify real quick? Just glug glug. Nice Magic the Gathering card. Yikes. That's Morning Dauber. So I could Lava Coil this Firebrand here, but I think being resource efficient and getting Karn into play as a clock is really good. A couple of people were talking earlier, or asking earlier, about Fountain versus Moment of Craving, and I feel like this game's been a really good example of why I like Fountain of Renewal as a sideboard cards in Karn decks. Just like really powerful here. Hey, Iceman, love Arena and the Upbeat channel. Keep up the awesome job. Well, thank you for the 5 months of support there. I appreciate it. Welcome back. Thanks for shipping your Bezo bucks this way this month. New to the stream, enjoying the content, the positive attitude. Can you explain the tradition of people asking for timeouts and mods obligating them? Yeah, so if you're new, you might have clicked through my stream rules when you came in, and if you took the time to read them, which I hope you do take the time to read them, my stream rules are a little bit longer than a lot of other people's stream rules, and we aggressively enforce them. And the big difference between my stream rules and other people's stream rules, a lot of other people's stream rules basically say, don't be a racist bigot and we won't time you out. Like, people just like spam nonsense and stuff like that. Whereas here, we also time out comments that are just kind of like unhelpful or not specific to encourage people to only use the chat if they're contributing something. And like, sometimes we have like fun, like lol, lol, lol emotes when there's really something funny that happens on stream, but generally we try to keep the chat pretty specific and constructive, so that way it gives me a chance to interact with people that want something to be interacted with when we have a lot of people in here still. And then, sorry, to expand on the timeout meme, there are people who get very upset when they get timed out for breaking the channel rules. And they like literally come back in and like write a big paragraph about fascism and their right to free speech and all this jazz that's just completely silly because they don't understand what those things mean. So people ask for timeouts to make fun of people who take getting timed out very seriously. The Bezos emote looks bad on light mode. All right, my 5-lander's not looking so good here, how things are panning out. I do enjoy lands. Also, the timeout meme also means, like, you know, we time you out because we care. Like, if someone timed you out, it means somebody was paying attention to you. And you got some attention. And don't we all love attention in our heart of hearts somewhere? I like getting attention. I agree. I think for every person that complains about my channel rules being the reason they're never coming back, I think there's a number of people that like the way I run things. And most importantly, I like the way I run things, so that's why they're run that way. I wonder if they boarded out their enchantments for this game. That sequence there was a good example. I didn't talk about sequences because we were talking about other stuff. Why I used the Cry to kill their 2-1 and held on to the Lava Coil. Because not only is Lava Coil good at killing bigger things like Chain Whirler, but Lava Coil also gives us the ability to exile things like Phoenix. Hey, Archeon, thank you very much for the brand new Twitch Prime support. I appreciate that. Thanks for shipping your Bezo bucks this way this month. There's a lot of great people you can give those to every month. Thanks for supporting my content here.
A curious choice.
Oh, card. Oh, card. We're still at 12 here. If we can find our way to one of our fountains, we're going to be in a very good spot. Treasure map would also be okay, because it would let us start making large Karn structs. In the meantime, I think I'm supposed to keep plussing Karn until I find something useful, though. I think I have to Lava Coil this. If they keep drawing spells, we could end up being in trouble here, just because we don't have many. How Gruul aggro is. I think Gruul decks are better suited to be a little bit more mid-range or monster styles decks, as we call them in Magic sometimes, than being pure low to the ground aggro. I think as far as low to the ground aggro goes, Grawl tends to be worse than things like mono red. Do you ever refuse a submission to the deck queue? On occasion. Not as much for standard. I reject a lot of modern decks because people like to submit modern decks that are really terrible. I did cut Jaya. She'd be holy gosh. Oh, the rains come down. Hey, Spice Boy, thanks for all the magic lessons in the laughs. Thanks for the tip, and thanks for linking the deck list in your donation message. I appreciate that. All right, I think Karn's just heading in the downward direction. I think Karn is just making 4/4/4s here. Have we discussed Dawn of Hope as a potential card advantage / win condition? That's an interesting idea. We haven't actually let's just say lep, so I don't mush my words. Ooh, buddy. All right, that should be. I'm gonna attack first so they kill this before they see Lyra, hopefully. Games like this are a good lesson in Magic in general. The difference between a good Magic player and a mediocre Magic player isn't how well they draw. The difference is a good Magic player is going to make the best of what they've got, rather than sitting there and complaining about it. All right, am I dead? Am I dead? Who went? This is it. We gotta fade one draw. Gotta fade one draw. I like that they sent the message, I could kill your Lyra, but instead I'm going to try and kill you. I can respect that. I can respect the message that's been sent.
Awaken.
Yeah. I agree, Burgle. And that's a good thing to talk about too here, right? Like, I think my opponent trying to kill me there is very correct, because that's playing to win. If they send both those burn spells at Lyra, I'm still at 9, and they're going to die. Wow. Wow, we faded just enough. Just enough. Wow, another land. That's fine. It didn't matter that we drew a bunch of lands. It didn't matter because the spells that we had were impactful. Just enough. I like the cut of the opponent's chip. It's cut in a pleasant direction. How are we doing, folks? Welcome. Good morning, good afternoon, good night to everybody wherever you're out in the world. Thanks for dropping by here today. My name is Jeff Hoagland. I'm a full-time streamer and content producer here on Twitch. I'm here playing Magic 30, 40, 50 hours a week. If you enjoy standard best of 3 constructed, this is definitely the channel for you. I start with standard best of 3 on Arena about 9:30 every morning. As always, a big shout out to all of my wonderful subscribers. They're quite literally the folks that keep me employed. I wouldn't be here day in and day out without their wonderful support. Past my subscribers, I'd like to give a small shout out to my sponsors as well. Harry's Razors would love to help you get that close, clean shave using code Jeff Hoagland at bit.ly/Shugel Shave. You can save $5 on your brand new shaving starter kit with them. Remember, just because you like playing the degenerate decks doesn't mean you need to look like it. Hey, Jeff, with the brand new Prime Support. Thank you very much for shipping your Bezo bucks this way this month. There's a lot of great people you give that to every month. Thanks for supporting my content here. Hurly Burly Studio does professional Magic the Gathering altars. If you head on over to hurlyburlystudio.com, you can see their wonderful portfolio of border extensions as well as full art replacements. Using code Jeff10, you can save 10% on your orders there with them. Cardsphere.com would love to help you turn your cards into other cards or to other players. There's no haggling. They just take a 1% fee off the top. And, of course, InkedGaming.com would love to help you customize your gaming experience using code Jeff12. You can save 12% on custom playmats, mouse pads, binders, and bags with them. You can upload your own custom artwork or choose from the wide range of custom artwork on their website. We are heading back on into our next match here with Mardu control. We're going to do 1 or 2 more with this one before we roll right along into Blue-Red Wizards. They're a service where you send your cards off for points, and then you can get other cards for points, Jason Fitty. Unlike other services that have been similar to them in the past, Card Sphere is not going to collapse on itself because your points on Card Sphere always have a direct cash value. So if at any point you decide Card Sphere is not for you, they have cash on hand to cash your points out. So I get that we played against a bunch of aggro decks in a row, but I'm really glad to hit a mid-range deck here. Not only so we can see how the matchup feels, but also kind of show that, like, I think Kaya's Wrath is the sweeper we want in the main in general, because it's the more flexible card. Lands are great, I agree. I think lands are wonderful. Lands introduce incredible amounts of variance to Magic the Gathering, but the land system is also a big part of the reason why Magic is so successful as a game, because the amount of deck building things that you get to do because lands exist is just night and day compared to not. How much for a Cut the Line for Sultai use? Standard Cut the Lines are $50 mark. So how about this Kaya's Wrath here? How about this Kaya's Wrath? Bye friends. Bye friends. I'm not familiar with that service that they offer, Red Dome. So I'm not sure on the details on that one. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. This is probably an Eldest Reborn out matchup. So here's something really important that I'd like to highlight. Someone in chat said Rage Quit. I think there's probably a pretty low chance that my opponent's upset there. They conceded because they were infinitely behind, and they're pretty unlikely to win the match. And just as anybody who values a good use of their time is probably going to move along there. If it was a match of tournament Magic, sure, like grind it out and like maybe get there on the 1%er. But like you're playing on Arena, there's another match of Magic you get to play immediately after this one. Like don't sit there and be miserable and play from behind like that. Yeah. I mean, there's also times like sometimes your mid-range deck can beat a Wrath and other times it can't. Like, also, can we appreciate for a second how that they named Kaya's Wrath so we can say Wrath as shorthand for Kaya's Wrath just like we do Wrath of God? Props, Watsy. We have J-Milla. We played Green-White Angel / Explorer last season a little bit. You can find that on the YouTube channel and the website. Alright, let's put the devil in this one. Yep. Lyra looking pretty good here. Kaya's Wrath looking as excellent as ever. Bye, friends. And like this is a spot where like they still have 5 cards in hand. We can actually keep playing a game of Magic after we sweep their board, right? They're not just like hopelessly behind. Right, they don't have a Conclave Tribunal here. Lyra should lock the board up pretty hard for us. Okay. Alley-oop. There. like, that exchange on Lyra, on the Wrath there was fine, right? Like, the Wrath gained us, like, the Lyra gained us 6, and I basically traded 2 cards for 3 of their cards, so, like, that exchange rate is good for us.
What was lost is now returned. You're just fuel.
Yeah, technically I should Karn first, you're right. And ultimately it really doesn't matter, because we're probably going to hit a land, but... More Nevin. Like, Legacy Staple Angrath coming in clutch. Alright, and again, wouldn't be surprised to see a concession happen here soon. We're pretty far ahead at this point. That's just much too slow for Modern Dawn. Much too slow. You don't have to hate to admit that you enjoy Arena. Arena is awesome. One of the big upsides to Harry's over something like Dollar Shave Club is that the Harry stuff tends to be higher quality at a similar price point because Harry's actually owns the factory that they make their blades at. They're not just like reselling someone else's razors. Also, that's a big upside. If you check out the Harry's here, you also get to support my content. So if you enjoy my stuff, checking out the Harry stuff is a great way to support what I do here. All right, so do I want to get the treasure map going here? I think I do. Like, I already have lands and the Wrath. So, like, I'm not really digging for anything in specific. Yeah, I agree. I agree with that assessment completely. Between Treasure Map and Discovery, these non-blue control decks have an awesome amount of selection. They just like don't have historically speaking. Who's got 2 thumbs and is ready to get spell pierced? This guy right here. I wonder if they're playing our blue-green Explorer list. I wonder if they're playing our blue-green Explorer list. I play 2 Pierces in the main, and gosh, are they good. Gosh, are the 2 Spell Pierces in the main deck good. They are brutally fantastic. All right, second Wrath, please. GG, opponent. So Burgle, one of the reasons why their non-blue control decks are much better in Standard than they are in non-rotating formats, though, is because more of Standard is played out on the field as opposed to in the stack in the hand. Yeah, they're as good or possibly better. Their Shave Cream is great, by the way. The Shave Cream that you get with the starter kit is A+2. I'm pretty sure Harry's works in Europe. At the very least, it works in the UK. If you check out the bit.ly/Googleshave, this link will tell you everything you need to know. It's like a gel that turns into, I don't know what the technical term is, okay? Just look at whatever comes with their default kit is good. I think I want the Lyras again here. They might have enough mopey creatures that this isn't good. I don't think Cry is good enough here. They don't have enough counterspells for Duress to be good. I'll go ahead and run it like this. Sorry, so non-blue control decks tend to be better in Standard than they are in formats like Legacy and Modern, because there's so much of these formats play to the board, and like this deck's a great example, right? Like this is a control deck that has main deck ways to kill enchantments, artifacts, and planeswalkers, which cover a lot of the problems that control decks usually have that make them need counter spells. They are likely going to board in negate, but still the density of spells that Duress is going to hit is pretty low. Hey, Theorist, thank you for the 7-month resub. I really appreciate that. Welcome back. Ugh, it's so brutal when this thing draws a pile of cards. Some people, so Modern has a pretty wide selection of decks that are linear and degenerate. And you're right, if you want a format that changes constantly, Standard's the constructed format for you as a player. But there are a lot of people who really enjoy being able to play the same decks week in and week out. There's a lot of people who play Magic very sparingly, who like take breaks infrequently, and enjoy these spell pierces, and enjoy being able to like take a break for like, you know, 2 months and like come back and still like play the deck that they like playing. We have the second one this time. We have the second one this time, okay? Ugh, go away. You're not well. And like here's the thing about this. So like that Kaya's Wrath was a 3-for-1, right? But now think about what actually happened. This Jade Light drew them 2 cards. This drew them a card. So I spent 1 card and I killed 3 cards that drew them 3 cards. So I actually came out behind on that exchange. Hey, Orlin, thank you very much for the brand new Prime support. There's a lot of great people making a lot of great stuff. Thanks for supporting mine with that. And like again here, I'm killing their thing, but their thing drew a card. Yeah, it's pretty cold today, and it's supposed to get colder tomorrow and Thursday. I don't leave the house. Christy went to work today, but she's taking tomorrow and Wednesday off because of the weather.
Wild animals I like. People, not so much.
That's fine. I'm gonna scry this land to the top again here because I want to get a counter on this treasure map. And like again, like I'm gonna kill this Vivian here, but I'm killing the Vivian, which already killed one of my cards. So like while I'm keeping the board in check, my opponent is very slowly grinding me out of the game with card advantage. Hit the big rate. It's such a travesty that they initially classified things or called it global warming instead of climate change, because like the fact that they called it global warming to start has given like lots of people who are incredibly stupid that line that they get to say, right? It can't be global warming if it's cold outside. It's not warm. I'm so clever. I kid you not, Trump literally tweeted yesterday that we needed more global warming for the Midwest because it was cold. Literally, like someone posted an image of the tweet and I was like, that's gotta be Photoshop, right? Nope, actually just something he tweeted. Just like, good Lord, like, oh, just face, it's real. It's on his timeline. It's got like 2,000 retweets. Go look. I thought like, I was just, even I can doubt sometimes. Like, I was like, there's no way. I doubted that it was real. I was like, there's no way that that's something he would actually post, right? Just like, nope, yep, actually just the case. Got it. Oh, he also did a classic and typoed warming. Global whamming. Typo, that's the sign that it's real, right? There's a typo in it. Oh, it's funny because it's sad. Good games, RP. I really liked your line of blasting me twice instead of killing the Lyra. Awesome, Ima. Thanks for checking out the sponsor. Do I drink coffee, or the only caffeine I usually do is like is unsweetened tea. Generally stay away from a lot of caffeine type things. Vomit. Ugh. That's really good. We're kinda getting destroyed here, huh? Do I just like Karn down tick? I think I Karn down tick.
Evil cannot withstand a righteous arm.
Yeah, these tempos, straight blue-green climb has been very good. If you haven't seen us play decks similar to what the opponent's playing, I'd highly recommend checking out our videos from yesterday and last week. I really like them. I really don't think you need a splash color in straight blue-green to be good. Which is weird, right? Because straight Simic is normally not very good in Magic. So, like, the fact that it's good is strange. Yeah, literally, it's just a mopey deck that buries them in 2-for-1s. Yeah, it's very similar to that. Send help! Send help! So on my website, Mr. Vernus, there's actually a favorites deck webpage that I would definitely recommend. If you ever miss a couple days of the stream, the favorites deck section will catch you right back up for sure. The choices we make reveal who we are. You can find my preferred climb list on my website. Climb is one of the decks that has a dedicated page up there. So we're kind of keeping up here, and then you look at their hand and realize they have 7 cards. If you talk 20% slower, you would seem 200% nicer. If I talk 20% slower, I would get to 20% less messages in chat, which I get it that everybody who's never streamed before thinks that they all know how to do this better than me, who's been doing this for forever, but nothing that I do is ever going to please everyone. And for every one viewer I lose because they're put off by me talking quickly, I gain other viewers because I'm able to interact with more people in chat in a meaningful way. Everything you do to try and appease more people loses you people in other directions. That's just like how life works. You're never gonna make everybody happy. I think we're pretty dumpstered here, right? Yeah, there's a lot to talk about. There's a lot going on in the average game of Magic, and if I'm gonna be able to talk meaningfully about what's going on in the match, I also need to be able to talk quickly so I can get to things in chat as well. Jeff is one of the very few MTG streamers that I don't have to put it 150% on YouTube. God bless. Let's play one more with this before we move on. Get a little bit better feel for it. Well, thanks, Vader. I appreciate you being here. Can't make everyone happy, but I've been happily subbed for years. You're doing something right. Oh, no, not again. Thank you for the entire year of support. I knight thee, defender of the realm. Go forth and protect us from Twitch chat. I keep this. It's fine. The Warhammer Champions is coming to PC. That's awesome, Milla. I'll probably stream a little bit of that a couple hours a week again if they get a PC client. Was Mystic Snake good when it was in Standard? I'm actually not sure. That was about the time I started playing Magic, and I didn't play competitively. I come here for the opportunity cost 101 lesson. To be fair, there's a lot of people that don't get things like that. And like, opportunity costs apply very directly to Magic the Gathering too, right? Like when you make a change to try and fix one problem, you are taking a risk and opportunity that you're making something else worse. Yeah, you can find deck lists similar to my opponents on my website. Click standard decks at the top. Someone said they couldn't find it on my website. I believe it's at the bottom. It should be listed as UG Climb. Is it not up there? Did I not publish it? Maybe you're right and I forgot to publish it. Oh, I forgot to tag it with the category. All right, it's there now. You were super right that it wasn't on my website. I forgot to tag it with the category. It's there now. The page existed, but it wasn't linked. Thank you for the heads up. I do a lot of things in a very small amount of time. Thanks, Rada. Hope you're having a good Tuesday wherever you're at. Thanks for dropping in. Thanks for the compliment. It's there now. I just added it. It wasn't there 30 seconds ago. It wasn't there 30 seconds ago. Man, I don't know if this deck is good, but when you draw Kaya's Wrath on time every game, it feels quite good.
And you come to me.
I agree, Jason Affidi. I definitely think the on-cast trigger is better than can't be countered, right? Ooh, that was a good one off the top. We were gonna bedevil her, but that is much better. That was, that's delicious. Nom 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 nom. I'm getting tired from all this running, chat. They just keep coming for us. All right, so let's exile this Reaper. I could, like, Angrath steal the Reaper. Best of 3 ladder comes on Thursday, 2 days from now. So, when I say a deck doesn't feel good, I'm generally still willing to, like, explore that deck idea. So like I said, we hadn't played an Esper deck on stream that hadn't felt good yet, but finding one that eventually feels good sounds sweet, especially if it's based off a deck that did well in a tournament. As always, you can, if you have something you'd like to submit, put it through the forum on my website, and I'll send you an email response at the end of the day. The forum helps me stay organized. Water Cat, I work in Evanston and got my day off today because of the weather. Stay warm. You too, Water Cat. Christie's work actually just announced that they're giving her tomorrow and Thursday off, which is nice. Have some, thanks for shipping your Bezo bucks back this way again this month. Well, they took the 2 best creatures out of their discard pile. It's awkward because, like, normally I'd want Vivian, right? But Vivian isn't actually good here because there aren't any creatures in my deck. There aren't any creatures in my deck. Vivian only, I guess, is drawing lands good enough? I guess she draws lands. I guess like Branchwalker's just gonna draw lands too, right? So might as well. I'm gonna go ahead and consume them here. Just like gain 4. And then hopefully next turn they play the Midnight Reaper out, and then I can Angrath down tick, take the Reaper, and draw some cards. Thanks, Drawing. I appreciate the support. Thanks for checking out the sponsors. Their stuff is really good. I use them to keep my neck beard in check so my Linux user doesn't show. You gotta keep the neck beard trimmed, chat. Don't want people to know. Alright, let's start by blessing this and grabbing a land or finding out if we're gonna miss. So I think I just Angrath down tick on Midnight Reaper, draw a card. This does let them kill Angrath with Seeker Squire, but I think that's fine.
Monsieur crew for my freedom.
An updated blue-red wizards list in Modern anywhere? Yeah, you can always find my latest deck list on my website, Viper. So that's one of, there's like 50 Modern decks up there. There's a bunch of them. Now, Magic's a very small niche, right? Like, I describe myself to other people as a tier 4 internet celebrity, so like, people in the real world on average don't know what Magic... Most people in the real world don't actually even know what Twitch is. It's more common among 20-somethings, but like, a lot of people like 30 or like, especially like my parents' age, like, explaining to like other folks what I do is like very, very convoluted. They don't get it. Magic, yeah, that's probably true. Magic's probably more famous than Twitch. Oh, that's slowly changing. Ninja's actually done a great job of like bringing Twitch into the light. He's brought a lot of eyes onto the platform, which is awesome. I'm a professional talkie box man.
I make my own. My crew is the finest in the seas.
Am I gonna cycle this? Now I'm gonna hold this as an answer to a Carnage Tyrant.
Balance comes.
That's kind of semantics. Ninja is basically the face of Fortnite. So saying it's Fortnite and not Ninja is semantics, in my opinion. They're one and the same. They do have Memorial, yeah. So holding Consecrate to counter Memorial is also a good idea. Self-employed entertainer like a clown. No, any website that has a MTG Arena export is fine. No, MTG Arena Pro is fine. We gave up on Theater of Horrors. It was just really clunky and hard to activate.
You're not walking out of here.
You're not walking out of here. She's so hostile, chat.
Until you have allowed me.
She's so hostile. You're not walking out of here. Why? Cool it, Viv. Really, it's fine. They don't mean to harm. They don't mean you harm. They draw fine. They just moused over their graveyard. I mean, they might have assumed we didn't have any creatures, which to be fair, we technically don't have any creatures, right? Do I board 0 cards here? I'm looking at my sideboard, and this might be a problem. Like, maybe I have a sideboard that's constructed improperly, or maybe this matchup's okay for us, but I almost feel like I'm supposed to board 0 cards here, huh? Cry is, like, fine against... People that want to board in Lyra here, you need to go watch, I was annoyed that my bits total donated was not ending in 0-0, so take my pity bits. I got you, Div. Lyra against Vivian is really bad. Don't do that. Yeah, I don't think I want Cry more than any of the other cards in my deck. I think I'm just gonna click submit. Yeah, don't play your Lyra on 5 so they can untap and like Vraska or Vivian. It just feels real bad. This card's for the aggro matchup, like the mono red. I am on Central Standard Cornfield time. I have been live for about 2.5 hours today. I start a little bit before 8 a.m. every morning with a Modern or Legacy League on Magic Online, and then we pivot into Standard on Arena about 9:30. Is it good? I have no idea. I feel like we've gotten it to a point that seems reasonable. How'd the modern lingo? Very lackluster. The Sphinx of whatever it's called in the deck that we played did not feel particularly good. We played blue-red Thingbird, and we played the 4-mana Sphinx in it that scries, and it was not great. It wasn't even a rant from Sullivan, it was just him laughing that, like, people kept having Lyras in their deck against decks full of Vivian. It's like, play my Baneslayer Angel, untap it at my Planeswalker, kill it. Uptick my Planeswalker, kill your next Baneslayer Angel. Just like... Is the downtime this afternoon? I thought the downtime's Thursday. Did I misunderstand the schedule? I thought downtime for the best of 3 update is Thursday. That's January 30th. That's tomorrow morning. That's not this afternoon. I'd say it's on par with the previous format for sure. From 7 to 9 a.m. tomorrow. Oh no, it's at midnight, right? Wait. This says this evening, 11 p.m. PT. Yeah, that time zone is not relevant. We might be dead here. I don't have any cries in my deck, so all right. Well, if we draw Wrath, they draw 8 cards. We didn't draw Wrath, so we're dead. All right, on to the next one. Yeah, maybe I'm supposed to have Cry. Maybe Cry's just good enough. I don't know. Yeah, it's fine, right? Doesn't have any card advantage in Disturb. It's got good removal spells. We're gonna like draw a bunch of Cries this game. There's gonna be Rancid. Cry is a card. Cry is a card that can line up well into what the opponent's doing, but there's also gonna be a lot of games where it just like effectively doesn't do anything. This is a game where Cry's looking pretty good to start, huh? I think Duress is very bad in matchups like this. In my opinion, you should only be bringing in Duress against counterspell heavy or combo decks. Decks like this that are going to get into top deck modes or frequently not have things in their hand for you to take or not places you want, that type of effect. And like, yeah, my opponent has some blue cards to like have some counter spells potentially, but I think on average, they're just not going to have them. All right, well, Cry would have been real good here. That being said, definitely gonna Lava Coil this Midnight Reaper. I might just cycle this Consecrate here to try and dig my way to a sweeper. Most of the places that hire people to do professional commentary Applegate, like, have a subset of people that they pay to do, and they don't really branch outside of that. So, doing professional commentaries or something you can just, like, pick up and decide to do. You have to have someone that wants to hire you to do it. We're gonna get Carnage Tyrant. That's probably not untrue. I think I just have to, like, Mortify something this turn. I don't want to Angrath and just have it die. Alright, well we didn't get Carnage Tyrant, so that's step 1. Down to 9 here. How do you feel about Angrath in Modern? Here's a really easy way to tell if a card's playable in Modern. Is it brutal and efficient, or is it clunky and slow? If the answer is it's clunky and slow, it's not Modern playable. If the answer is yes, it's brutal and efficient, then yes, it's Modern playable. Okay, that got a negate out of there. Hydrate Graces and Amulet sideboard. That sounds kind of sweet. I don't know, like, is that card solving a problem that it has? I guess some of the Amulet decks have been playing Emrakul. It's probably similar to Emrakul, and it's better because you could search it with Pact of whatever. Play a land, play a Carnage Tyrant. Play a land, play a Carnage Tyrant. Silly opponent, playing good magic and playing around Micaiah's Wrath. Rats. Trackers or Dark Confidants? Well, Tracker's really good and Dark Confidants kind of mediocre. So I'd probably recommend getting Tracker. Dark Confidants really kind of fragile in Modern, and Tracker closes much harder. Woof. Yeah, I kind of feel like what we're doing here, just like, while the controlling elements are kind of interesting in this deck, I feel like we just don't have, we lack both a powerful source of card advantage while also not having that, like, Crackling Drake or Niv Mizzet way to close the game out, right? Like, the fact that these mid-range decks get to grind with Hydrate Crisis and Find Finality just makes it really difficult to grind through, right? Like, I'm keeping the board clear here, treading water, but like my opponent has 6 cards in their hand and they're basically never gonna run out of gas. I don't have like a Niv Mizzet or something like that to do really well. Need some kind of way to like go up over the top of what's going on. Yeah, you lose. We don't actually win the game. We just lose slowly. It's such an elegant way to put it. Captive Audience doesn't generate value. No, nothing's ever getting banned in Modern. Modern's a linear degenerate cluster, and it's never gonna not be a linear degenerate cluster. People think Wizards of the Coast is happy with Modern, and it's never gonna change. If you want to play a format that's not a pile of linear decks racing each other, play Standard. Anywho, yeah, I think just to like have a concise segment for the wrap up here at the end, I think this deck just doesn't have a consistent enough source of card advantage. Like Angrath, the fact that Angrath as a Planeswalker doesn't draw us cards is a big deal. There's also the fact that, like, we don't have a quick way to close the game, right? Like, Treasure Map plus Karn, like, kinda close the game, but not really. I feel like this deck was kind of a worse build of the mono black Banefire deck that we played a bunch last season that didn't really gain tools in this step. We're actually becoming back up too soon. So I think if you want to play a black-based control deck, I'd recommend looking into the mono black Banefire deck that you can still find on my website. I guess the mono black deck did gain Cry. We've got a couple copies of that in there, so. You should play Vintage or Legacy if you would like to skip mortgage payments to play Magic the Gathering instead. That's the best reason to play Legacy and Vintage for most people.